Hi, this is Ingrid from Quiltessential Co in St. Albert, and this is our May block of the month. Little late this year. I got some stuff I'm doing personally, and sometimes that just gets in the way. But here's the video for your May block, and here's the block we're going to be making. It's really pretty, and it looks awesome if you put it together as a big quilt. And the quilt beside me here, that is dashed. And if you ever want to know, oh, I've got some fabric, what can I do with that? Half-meter cuts work perfectly with all these patterns. So this was 8 half-meter cuts. So I hope you're inspired. Let's go cut. So we've got a lot of cutting out this time. Just keep it labeled, and you'll be fine. The sewing goes fast. Cutting out a little bit longer. A, make sure that you cut it squares once in the diagonal and label them A1s. Lots of B squares, cut on the diagonal, label it B, and then they're going to be labeled also A2. Just follow the instructions. See, there are more than one thing to cut, so you might have 2 pieces of fabric in your kit. You are going to cut 2 big squares once on the diagonal and label them B1, C1. And then the other ones are smaller squares cut on the diagonal, and they're C2s, but they're labeled an A2 shape. Remember, the A1s, A2, B1, B2 are all shapes. D, you also have more than one fabric in your kit or a bigger piece, 2 large squares cut on the diagonal and labeled, and then 4 small squares labeled. E, this is easy, 1 little square. F, I laid it out the way I cut it. I cut a strip and a strip out of my fabric. These are 4 large rectangles, and then there were 4 skinnier rectangles, but they're all the same width. So lay it all out, cut it, and now we're just going to sew. So we're going to construct the centerpiece as we've done many times before. If you go back to January, that's what we did there too. So we start with our E, and we're going to be putting our A1 shapes and A around it. And remember, when you do that, here is my E. I always like to pin my triangles at the back, but I'm sewing from the square. That way I make sure that my seam allowances are good with the square, and I don't worry about the triangles. There's tons of stuff to trim off the triangles. Once you've done that and pressed it, of course, you're going to do the same thing and add 2 more triangles like this. 1 pin, but you're sewing again from this side. And then every round you make sure you use your trim tool and you put the correct block in here. So if you added A1 shapes, you put A1 in the middle and trim, and then you're going to keep going and you're putting your A2 shapes, B1 shapes, B2 shapes, and you're going to square this up. So this is done. Now let's work at these, because these are slightly different. So with that, we are going to take your D2, and on 2 sides, you're going to add, like it said in my pattern, the corresponding triangles. So 1 color is on this side, and 1 color is on this side. Pin it. Remember, always sew from your square and sew it down. Once you've done that, let's just do some pretending. You're then going to add the opposite ones. So again, 1 color on this side and 1 color on this side, so that when it's all finished and you square it up, you have different colors here. So quite simple. That's what's going to give you this. So then it's giving you an alternate pattern over here. Almost looks like a chandelier, or if you put it on point, it would make a different kind of pattern. When you sew your rows together, here's your F large rectangle with that piece we just made. So this is 1 row. This is the same row, just with your large F rectangles. You take the block you made right at the beginning, and you are now going to sew small pieces for the side, small F's onto the block you just created, and that on either side of your center block will create that row. press the way I told you, and make sure you use that lovely easy press pen, and that will make all your seam allowances go the way they're supposed to on a nice flat block. There you go. Thanks for sewing with me today. And we're also having our annual, well, it started to be an annual shed sale. So last year we had a shed sale and we got rid of a lot of display units and baskets and all kinds of notions and things that we didn't need anymore. And we have a lot more that we've added to it. So this coming weekend, end of May, we're going to be having another shed sale on the Friday and Saturday. So if you would like to have a display mannequin maybe, or some baskets, some pottery items, all kinds of bits and pieces, come on over and look into our shed. And if you found this video useful, please leave us a like and click subscribe for future content. And this has been Ingrid with Quiltessential Co in St. Albert, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.